Okay, so again, good afternoon, everyone. So, if you remember last time, we discussed different basic theories under ethics. We discussed also different areas in ethics. We have the meta ethics. We have discussed the normative ethics. We have discussed also the applied ethics. So, in uh, meta ethics, we discuss the essence, the meaning, and the rationale of understanding ethics. Okay. And in normative ethics, we discuss and we focus on the action, what to do, what are the um, basis of human actions. Also, we've discussed in the applied ethics is the application of ethical rules and ethical conduct in different dimensions of our society. Okay, so today we will focus on one subcategory uh, of normative ethics. If you remember, we have three. We have the deontology, teleology, and we have virtue ethics. So today we will discuss about virtue ethics. Now, you are seeing a picture of one great leader in our history. Okay, we have here uh, Mohandas Gandhi. Is also known as Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma means a great soul. Okay, so he's responsible for the liberation, okay, of India under the British rule because of his non-violent means, okay, through civil disobedience and some religious calls to the people. Okay, so in short, he had his ways and means in promoting his advocacies and his goals, in which he successfully influenced people or motivated people to fight for their freedom and eventual liberation of India under the British colonial rule. Also have, of course, the present day Pope of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, okay, the first one to use uh, the name Francis under the Franciscan order. Now, is also uh, charming Pope and can be compared to Pope John Paul II, which is known uh, for the in our country, known by and loved by the Filipinos. Okay, Pope Francis is known for his uh, encyclical Laudato Si, which calls for the people to respect and be united with our home, our environment, our planet Earth. So we should respect Earth as Earth coexists with people. Okay. So we regard Earth as a living organism that needs to be cared, needs to be taken care of, or needs to be nurtured. Okay. Also, we have, okay, of course, Jose Rizal, our national hero. Okay. So, uh, Dr. Jose Rizal is known for his patriotic and nationalistic efforts, okay, in influencing the Filipinos to fight for our freedom against Spanish tyranny. Okay, so what is the reason why I showed you those pictures? So actually, those personalities, they have their ideals, they have their principles or philosophies and that they've followed to become a recognizable individual in our history. They have this characteristic, they have this virtue that they followed so that uh, they will be admired and they can inspire people. Okay. So those characteristics are under the study of virtue ethics. Okay. Again, as I mentioned, virtue ethics is one subcategory of normative ethics that focuses on human action. Okay. So the understanding of virtue ethics uh, actually began through and can be traced through the works of the Greek triumvirate. We have Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Okay, so in in the Western philosophy, they are the kings, right? They are the father of philosophies because of their contribution in the field. Okay, now also in the much modern sense, Saint Thomas Aquinas had contributed also a lot in philosophy. He's not only a saint but also uh, a patron saint of educators and a philosopher as well. Aside from being a theologian, he's known for his Summa Theologica and known for his five ways of arguments. Right. So the five ways of arguments we will discuss that on our next meeting. Okay. Now, uh, those personalities really contributed and shaped the development of philosophy as a field of discipline. Okay. To define virtue ethics, okay, it is a moral philosophy that teaches that an action is right if it is an action that a virtuous person would perform in the same situation. So, at in virtue ethics, an action becomes more valid and an action is strengthened if it is done, no, by a virtuous person or a person who follows uh, virtues in life. Later on, we will define the meaning of virtues as the virtues is the heart of virtue ethics. So we refer to the different people, a virtuous person like Rizal, like Pope Francis, like Mahatma Gandhi. They are the virtuous person and their actions would be strengthened and can influence others because they are doing the right action and they are also a virtuous person. So also a virtuous person, however, is someone who acts virtuously and people act virtuously if they possess and live the virtues. And the virtues or virtue is a moral characteristics that individual needs to live well. Meaning, virtues is synonymous to good living, right? Positive living, or virtues are the characteristics that we need to do to follow the right path. And there are several factors that can teach us what are the good characteristics, or there are several factors that can shape us what virtues should we follow. For example, we can be taught by our by the school, by education. We can be taught by our parents at home. We can be taught by our church, okay? Even our workplace. So there are several characteristics or attitudes that are being honed within an institution. And we need that to live well. And that is a way to develop our virtues in life. Okay? So A virtue, to elaborate, is a good habit bearing on activity. You cannot develop a good habit unless you repeat on doing that and practice it, and it will give us a positive result. If it will not give us a positive result, therefore it will not be considered as a virtue. Okay. Now, uh, it is also ingrained in our minds. Okay. When we keep on repeating a particular habit, and then it will give us a positive fruit. Okay, it will bear a positive action or consequence. It will be ingrained in our mind, and then it will become our virtue. And if it will become our virtue, it will ingrained in our personality. Therefore, it is very difficult to eradicate or to banish, no, in these virtues. Therefore, we are guided and we will follow these virtues in mind. Okay, but consequentially, not all habits are virtue. Okay, remember, uh, in the first uh, characteristic of a virtue, it should produce uh, positive fruit, or what we mean a positive consequence. A virtue can be considered a virtue if it will lead us to our good or end goodness or our purpose or our goals in life. That is considered as a virtue. Okay. Now, there are several kinds of habits. We have acquired and infused habits. When we say acquired habits, these are uh, habits that we continuously uh, and repeatedly acted out despite hindrances or despite obstructions. So, regardless of temptations, regardless of uh, hindrances or challenges, we keep on repeating, we keep on doing that. We are motivated to uh, do such action or habit. Okay. For example, um, you are instilled with discipline within your family. You are disciplined to fulfill the duties inside your household. You are tasked to finish these household chores. Then eventually, since you are disciplined enough to finish this household chore, your parents would not require you to ask you to do such household chore. Then you are motivated, you have this initiative to finish the task alone. Then since this discipline, the virtue of discipline is ingrained in you, within you, outside your house, or outside your household, when you go to school, then you are disciplined to finish a task at hand. And when you go eventually to workplace, you are disciplined to finish uh, a job assigned to you. Then, despite any temptation, despite any challenge, you would repeat the virtue of discipline because you practice it. It is ingrained within you, and it began in your inner core within your family. Okay. Now, they're also infused. They are independent of the process of repetition, and they are believed to be instilled by God in our mind. So from the very beginning, we have these habits, we have these virtues, we have moral virtues and theological virtues. So moral virtues, okay, we have these examples of virtues. They are somehow can be considered as virtues exemplified by God, but they are less virtuous, and they are inferior to the final end, or they are somehow inferior to the teleological virtues which were given to us by God directly. We have prudence, fortitude, temperance, and justice. When we say prudence, it is synonymous to cautiousness, carefulness, carefulness in every action. You are so uh, precise. You are so careful. You regard to other person. You regard other object. Okay, you are moving in finesse. Okay, your actions are somehow calculated because you don't want to bring harm to others. That is prudence. Okay, carefulness. Carefulness in spending money, carefulness in time, carefulness in saying words to others. That is prudence. Now, when we say fortitude, it is synonymous to our inner strength to rise above uh, adversities in life, or rise above challenges. Our inner strength to be susceptible to challenges, and uh, to conquer those challenges. Okay, or fortitude can also be seen in our positive outlook in life as a Filipinos. Okay, we have this positive attitude. Yung we are we have these happy faces amidst problems. We experience typhoons, we experience calamity, and yet we are still smiling. We have this positive outlook in life, and we have this perspective that one day everything will be fine, and or everything will be okay again. Okay. Now we also have the concept of temperance. When we say temperance, it is synonymous um, to control, okay, to abstinence, okay, to control, or to limit ourselves with leisures, okay. Although, of course, as a human person, we have this tendency to experience different leisures, and we have this tendency uh, to uh, taste some vices, to have these vices which can be immoral to us, but with control and with abstinence and with temperance, we are guided that we should not abuse these actions or activities. And when we say justice, fair and equal treatment to others, despite their despite our differences in gender, in race, in physical characteristic, in our educational background, any differentiating factor, we should treat others equally. Okay. Now, we also have, aside from the moral virtues, we have also the teleological virtues. These teleological virtues are virtues uh, given uh, by God. Okay? So, uh, this is these virtues are directly provided by God to us the moment we are born. Faith. Okay? So, faith is something that holds us to the unseen. Okay? Uh, we have this deeper devotion with our God, that we will be saved, we will be blessed by our God, regardless if we cannot see them, but we are guided by our scriptures from our or from our sacred scriptures, from our religion, that can be a manifestation of faith. We have this hope or yung pag-asa that all our adversities, our challenges will end, that we will not be, that we will not experience problems anymore. And love that uh, serve to attune us to our final end. Love thy neighbors, right? Love our parents, bring or create harmonious relationship to other person. Okay, as those uh, persons or people are within are and also are within the image and likeness of God. Therefore, if we love our neighbors, we love our God as well. No? We love our Creator as well. Okay, so those are the virtues very important in the development. Okay, in the development of our personality and our development, the development of our soul as a human being. We also have different virtues from the ancient Greeks, and we have virtues from the Christian teaching or from the Catholic Church. So another virtues, we have wisdom, okay, courage, moderation, justice. Christian teaching, we have faith, hope, charity, love, grace, mercy, and forgiveness and honor. So, um, if you remember in for example, in the Catholic Church, their virtues and their values evolve in this particular virtues. Okay. Now, uh, this Greek triumvirate, okay, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, they've introduced several idea, okay, of what action should we do in order for us to serve our purpose in life. But the point of their understanding, for example, Aristotle's eudaimonia or happiness, ultimate happiness. So, according to Aristotle, the only way uh, for a person to become ultimately satisfied or ultimately happy is to fulfill or to serve his function in life. But to know or to serve or to fulfill our function is to know our goals or to know our purpose in life. So that is very difficult. If you know your purpose, then serve your purpose, then you will be happy. Then you will be ultimately happy and you will be satisfied. But it again, as I mentioned, it's very difficult because at at our different maturity level, we have different aspirations in life and we have different desires, and we really don't know what is our purpose, right? That's why it is very difficult. Okay, now uh according to Aristotle, okay, uh people or us, we live trying to develop our faculties to the fullest extent through the help of virtues. Okay, and to develop our faculty is uh, to pursue ethical excellence displayed by virtues. Meaning, when we develop habits, good bearing habits, okay, we can develop virtues. And when we develop virtues, we follow the right path and we develop moral and ethical excellence. Therefore, we can live harmoniously with other people. Okay? So that is the understanding of Aristotle's virtue ethics. And the understanding of the study of virtue ethics. Okay? So,